Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. See? Yeah. See? Is our audio up now? Are we all... Did you hear us doing penguin noises, people? Look, Rory Williams, it's not back, because there never was sound. It's just here now.
You just look stupid.
You
just look stupid.
Alright, anyway.
Anyway, thanks for your...
Thank you so much, everyone. It just touches our hearts that you're here.
Not you, Rory.
Adam is, it's distracting to see a delay of what I'm saying, so I'm going to explain a bit of what we're doing here. Let's introduce ourselves. Go ahead.
Oh, fuck.
No, other side first.
Hey everybody, I'm Dave.
Chew.
I'm Dave Bell. I'm here.
Mike Swain.
I'm Adam. And I'm also here.
Yeah.
In this moment.
And if you saw the first stream, you know that this is in reference to Off Hours, our new web series that we're launching very soon. By the end of the month is the goal. And this is a script meeting. So it's very similar to the kinds of writers' meetings we would have in our old job, except that there's only 3 people here and a cat. There is free food though, much like those meetings. So,
You don't know if there's really.
I hope the cats wander on camera. It's good for ratings. I'm going to start talking as if the audience isn't here now so we can actually have a productive meeting. But I'm also going to ask if either of you guys have the capacity to do what you're doing and check comments in case there's anything spicy. You can interrupt with that. Or if you're like, fuck that, then don't.
No, I want the audience to feel included.
I do too. At one point,
going to do that.
when we're actually reading, we'll probably, or when we're discussing especially cartoon ideas, someone's going to want to be taking notes, and I can't because my computer's running the video.
So I need
So,
you want me to do that also?
Do you want to do notes
I can
possibly
try to
later
do
if
it.
I
I
get
don't
you
have.
pen and
If you're a
paper?
computer, you should do notes, and I can check the chat.
Comments.
Yeah,
Okay, great.
Oh, sure, Dave.
Well, that makes
sounds
more
great.
sense. I can't
Just
take
shorthand
notes.
notes to email to me later so I know what to tell the
That
artist.
sounds great, Dave. What a great idea.
All
Let
right.
me find each.
So,
You see how happy he is? That sounds great, Dave. What a great idea.
we can hear your
Happiest
voice.
he's been in decades.
How, did you tweet this? Is that how it's being shared with the world?
Oh no, I didn't tell anyone about this in any
Oh,
way.
that's okay. You don't have to. I'm just trying to find it.
No, you're right. I should tweet it. Okay, pause to tweet. People are complaining of an echo. I'm not sure what to do about that.
No,
you're right. I should tweet it. Well, we'll try and speak clearly.
I'm
I'm
probably gonna mumble.
tweeting about this live stream for people's benefit, so hold on.
Probably gonna mumble.
I mean, I'm
You
just
helpful
saying
son of a
that's
bitch.
probably what's going to happen. I mean, I'm just saying.
Just being wonderful.
I'm just
He's
trying to.
just being great.
Alright, if you tweet it,
I don't think most of you know what it's like to have a Dave in your life.
Mute your computer. If you're talking to me, my computer is muted, as is the tabs, so it's not coming from our system. I don't know.
If you're talking to me,
If it's
my
an echo, it
computer
does have
is
to be
muted,
from your
as
computer.
is the tabs.
Okay,
So
but
it's
I
not
don't.
coming from
Abe's,
But it is
Abe's sick and couldn't come, so I don't know how to fix it.
So we're gonna die out here.
Alright, you only have one mic?
Yeah, just mute your computer or any output. My computer is not putting out any sound whatsoever.
Is your computer's
Do you have a solve?
microphone also recording?
My computer is not putting
Do you
out
have
any
two
sound
mics?
whatsoever.
Looks like you
Yeah,
have
it
two
looks like I
microphones.
do. Let me
So
turn
just mute
desktop.
one of them, and then you're done.
Did Dave fix it, you guys? Is the echo gone now?
See, that's what's so great about having a Dave on.
Is the echo gone because of what Dave said and I implemented? Really, it was, I think, my implementation.
Yeah, you did it.
All right, great. Okay, so now, thank you, everyone who helped to make the stream work. Now I'm going to ignore you and have it be like a meeting. Now there's an echo because it's on
That's an
Dave's
echo,
phone.
Alright.
Dave.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, fucking Dave.
If you want 7-layer dip, my man, just
Yeah.
let me know.
Almost set.
I want you to want that. That would make me so happy.
Okay, so I wrote the proposed pilot, so let's read that first, guys.
Okay.
I thought we'd have more people here, so
Yeah, this is gonna be a
there aren't
task,
enough
huh?
to read, so we'll have to read multiple parts. But you know, this is the first time we're going through this workflow. It'll get smoother every cycle. One for you.
Great.
One for you.
I got him.
Cast us.
One for me.
I got him.
Oh,
Cast us, Mike.
I will. I also wanted just to say up front to please be thinking about.
Cartoon?
Well, I guess I'll save like self-feedback for after and questions about feedback. But we should also be thinking about the cast, and if we see consistencies between the scripts, like, okay, Cody's gonna be like this type, and these characters should both be Cody. Yeah, whatever. All right.
I
I'll
kind of see myself as a Swaim type. What do you think?
All right. You want to?
No.
I was gonna say.
Why would I do that?
I was gonna say I'll read Swayman across the page. Can you read Daniel Vincent Gord?
Oh, yeah.
And Maggie Mae Fish?
Oh, great. Loving it.
And Dave, can you read Katie Stoll?
Loving
Sure.
it, too.
Oh, actually, Katie Stoll and across the page. Then I can just read Swain.
Yeah, that's good.
Alright.
Okay.
You ready?
It begins.
Interior. Beginning.
Interior of my dining room day. Crappy phone camera footage, handheld. You can hear Swaim talking as he films Stoll, Gord, and God damn it, and Fish. They look bored.
Very
and
complicated last name right now.
and sit at a table with plates of baked beans. No utensils, 4 empty glasses, and a handle of gin in front of them.
All right, Daniel. Now you say something Danielish, like, "Oh no, my glasses
I'm
hurt."
not wearing glasses. Also, I know my name is Daniel, but I'm more of a chipper, supportive, confident type. Like a gay Adonis.
What a nerd. What a nerdy thing to say. Right. Now, Katie, you be all cynical, but also funny. Maybe smash Daniel's glasses? I don't want to tell you how to do your job.
This is starting to make me really uncomfortable.
Perfect!
Smash switch to professionally shot footage of the foursome. Swaim lowers his phone.
No, wait. That was shit. That was shitty. Fuck.
Michael, we get it. It's a tough transition. But you can't expect us to just sit here and act like your old friends to make you happy.
That is not what Soren would have said.
I feel like you need to start over. You invited us over for dinner. We've got our beans and our gin. Let's make the most of it.
Yeah, let's reboot the whole evening. How about it?
Do you own spoons? How do you expect us to eat this? Oh, okay, I got a question. If you could reboot your life, what kind of reboot would it be?
No! Wrong! That is exactly the opposite of the stuff we used to talk about, and I will have no part of it.
Beat!
I'm serious. Not in a million years would I lower myself to discuss something as insipid as...
Title card. If you could reboot your life, what kind of reboot would it be?
Although, I do have an answer if you want to hear it.
We need some ground rules first. We're talking genres of reboots here, not just a one-off. Globally recognized reboot trends only.
What about the show Reboot, which itself was rebooted? Clip the show Reboot and the season 4 reboot of it. Alphanumeric.
You have not seen that TV show.
No, I have not.
Alphanumeric!
I mean, yeah, points to you for the reference, but no.
Alright, then I need a minute.
For me, it would be a low-key streaming service reboot. Daredevil can't hack it on the big screen, so we make it a show. I can't hack it I can't hack it in big life, so we make it a show. Watchmen, the movie, can't live up to the source material? Give it to HBO. Stretch your legs a little. Find out what makes that owl guy tick with a quirky bottle episode.
Clip those shows and films, specifically comparing how the stakes are lower in the show versions.
Lower the stakes, you know. Lower budgets means fewer global conflicts and less dead civilians.
Clips Tony Stark lamenting the collateral damage of the New York City fight in Avengers.
Focus more on the side characters, because let's be honest, we all feel like main characters, but we're not. Some ensemble life makes sense. More people get represented more of the time. Wow. You don't feel like the main character in your own life? That is super sad. I mean, I do. I'm just saying, if we were honest with ourselves. Last week I got an improvised tracheotomy.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
That's cute.
All right. Last week I gave an improvised tracheotomy to a man with a collapsed lung. The week before that, my twin brother contracted sudden onset Alzheimer's and now thinks I am his reflection.
That's some protagonist shit.
Jeez. Are you the main character in my life?
It's possible. Well, fine, but for most of us, I think an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. situation beats an Avengers Endgame situation any day.
Clips, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. dealing with stuff way less intense than the Avengers, who are constantly in grief.
There are other more superpowered people out there worrying about Thanos. You get to just file papers and occasionally solve a mystery. It's like life, but better. But not so much better that it comes with a bunch of additional obligations. It's like Uncle Ben's cousin Jared said, with medium power comes medium responsibility.
But those shows almost never make it to the finale episode. Clips, stills of articles about various Marvel shows getting abruptly canceled. They get abruptly canceled when Disney Plus buys your license. That means your life ends early.
Or worse, your life gets rolled up into a major film franchise where you have a brief walk-on appearance before immediately getting slaughtered.
Agent Coulson getting killed in Avengers.
You become fodder for the lives of more interesting people.
That's why I avoid people entirely. I'm going Disney live-action reboots of classic animated movies. 90% Animal Kingdom. It's already Disney, so you can't get bought up. And nothing sad ever happens unless you count the death of your parents.
I mean, I do, though. That is sad.
Okay, yes. The toll for being in a Disney reboot is you have to be an orphan. And that's a thing in Mufasa's death scene.
I'm pretty sure orphans would say it's a whole thing, even.
Yes, sad, granted. But the whole goal behind live-action Disney reboots is to take something you loved in childhood and polish it up with cutting-edge CG and relive it. Who wouldn't want their life to be the same, but with better graphics?
As a trend in film, I hate it, but as a life, not so bad. That guy's trachea could have been a little more fully realized in retrospect.
It's Your Life, redone by technical wizards and probably directed by Jon Favreau, who, let's admit it, always does a fine job.
And to feel like everybody just be like, oh, like immediately, no! Yeah,
What?
Yeah.
It would be a
Fav,
It would be a perfectly serviceable life with only trace amounts of dead parents in the negative column.
Plus, you don't have to pay the original writers, because your life story is public domain.
And as a cash grab based solely on nostalgia, you can live an inferior existence and still get suckers to give you their money. Subtitles support off hours on Patreon.com.
So good. Great.
Excellent.
Great joke. So basically, you're capitalizing on the fact that everyone has a short attention span and just reliving your childhood over and over with improved graphics.
Damn Skippy. Imagine how hot Lumiere is going to be in the 2055 version.
Aha! Well, my dear, if you're looking to recapture childhood, then there's no better candidate than rebooting your life as an unnecessarily quick origin story.
What, like how I've seen Peter Parker get bitten by a spider 7 times in the last 8 years?
Many shots of a spider biting Peter Parker from various incarnations of Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you want your life to be mind-numbing boredom with occasional periods of being injected with poison. That's just a heroin addict.
Except heroin doesn't fill you with the pure promise of a new beginning. No, I think it does.
It definitely does. Don't ask how I know.
Fine, but we're not talking about drugs here. We're talking about the purest fix of all. Childhood. The period of pure promise before, your limitations. Before your parents are imperfect. Or that you'll die someday.
Wait, what?
Great. Before you know the world can disappoint you. When you still think you're going to be what you want to be when you grow up.
Does that
I'm
make
sorry.
sense?
It
It's
does.
hard
No,
to
let me
say, but
say
I
it
like
again.
the line.
No, let me say it again. Before you know the world can disappoint you. When you still think you're going to be what you want to be when you grow up.
Oh.
I wanted to be a fire truck.
Are you going to eat your beans?
She slides her plate to Michael. Sorry, that was your...
Oh, I see what's happening now.
Get on the ball, Belle! Sure, getting bit by a radioactive spider is repetitive, but it's also awesome. Imagine getting to relive your defining adolescent moment.
Judging a wet t-shirt contest in Fort Lauderdale.
Reaching epic levels in Dungeons and Dragons.
Judging what t-shirt contest in Fort Lauderdale.
Well, imagine a whole life of just that. Just the thing that made you who you are. Made your identity clear to yourself. No confusion, no evolution, just a single defining story that grounds you and defines you. The stories we tell ourselves over and over are the most defining myths of our culture. Spider-Man is God, is democracy, is love.
Various depictions of the life of Jesus. Various depictions of the Founding Fathers. Various rom-coms where the couple finally kisses.
Because childhood is so precious, origin stories will always be the most foundational to society. Don't you want your life to be retold for centuries to come? To mean something to billions of people? Sure, there won't be a lot of depth to it, but you'll be mythical, a legend, a DBG.
Swooping hero shots of Spider-Man, Batman, and Superman. Okay, but you're cherry picking. Batman's childhood reboot is constantly watching his parents get shot and getting scared by bats.
Superman would be watching his entire people die on his planet over and over. I'm sorry, let me read that again. Superman's would be watching his entire people die on his planet explode over and over. Hey, being a baby astronaut would rule.
James Bond's life would just be repeatedly earning a license to kill and climaxing in improbably named supermodels. Wait, that would be great too.
Sweeping hero shot of James Bond.
But you're still wrong, because repetition is boring, regardless of how awesome the thing is.
I disagree.
Jerk off 136 times in a row and get back to me on that.
No.
The point is, the obvious best answer to how to reboot your life would be the gritty 90s/2000s reboot.
Everyone's
Oh,
or whatever.
No!
John Felt, no! Think about it! In all your examples, you were trying to make your life fun while avoiding as much real-world tragedy as possible. As much as people look down on the gritty reboot, it's full of the kind of darkness and tragedy that you can overcome by chainsawing some assholes in half.
Gritty reboots featuring cheesy kills.
Or rocket launching some buttholes into quarters. Or helicopter propeller blading some O-rings into thinly
we
sliced.
get it.
Grief is an unavoidable part of life, and therefore of stories. But at least in Batman Begins and Casino Royale, you can solve your problems by punching people or defibrillating yourself, respectively.
James Bond defibrillates himself.
Right.
Shots of overcast skies and various gritty reboots.
Is that are you intentionally mistaken?
Was it actually the second one?
It's defibrillating.
Defibrillating?
It's not defibrillating.
I think it's defibrillating.
Defibrillating?
Okay, we'll get that.
We'll
out.
look it
But
up.
it is funny
No.
if you say it wrong. That's
Sure.
also funny. Okay.
Yeah.
that
Sure,
up.
it would be overcast almost all the time, but you would be fully equipped to rip the shit out of any tragedy that comes your way. You'd know it was coming, see it coming, and take care of it via vengeance most bloody. And then you're at peace.
Batman spots Alfred across the cafe in Paris.
Y'all are trying to find a universe where there's no tragedy in life. I say it's better to accept a universe where the tragedy is cheesy and ham-fisted and hilarious, and you confront it by riding a motorcycle where you swing a bunch of chains around.
That is a lot simpler. Plus that gritty meme is popular now. You probably get some buzz going just off that. Sorry, I fucked that up. Plus that gritty meme is popular now. You probably get some buzz going just off that. Now I don't think what you think. I don't understand what you think this is. Do you think we're pitching something?
I vote for the gritty reboot, too. Living things have always tried to appear aggressive to ward off danger, and the gritty reboot is that instinct made into a movie. Life is dark, but predictable, and you're the biggest badass of all because your rage is your fuel. James Bond and Batman screaming with rage.
Well, you still definitely have dead parents or a girlfriend who got fridged in the first 10 minutes. Fridged? When a character's in a movie just to get killed off in the first 10 minutes. Oh. I guess I could have figured that out from the context. But fine, gritty reboot wins. You feel better, Michael?
Starting to, as he guzzles gin.
Well, good. I'm glad you invited us over. We should do this more often.
Although, for the record, it doesn't always have to be in sets of 4. Yeah, this whole recreating the past thing is something you'll probably have to let go of, buddy.
Swim tosses the empty handle of gin over his shoulder.
I know. It's just so hard, you know? Knowing that my 3 old pals all had to move to Siberia indefinitely for work and they don't have email there.
Either Willard or Billy walks by a window and, spotting Michael, suddenly freaks out and backs up as to not be seen. Fish spots them, but they do this gesture. Sure they don't, Michael. Sure they don't.
Are you gonna eat your beans?
No, none of us are.
Also, they appear to be little brown clay beads in some kind of sauce.
Yeah, I found it.
The sauce?
Yeah, it's a sauce I found.
Be-
I need help, you guys.
Oh, it's delightful.
All right. So,
Oh, check it with chat.
sure, do that. But I have my questions would be, do we like the pairings of cast to character? Are the arguments clear? Are there other kinds of reboots that I should swap in that are better? And also, I think the key thing that I don't want to skimp on, that is time-consuming and difficult, but we do need to do, I think, in the fullness of time, is are there more concrete examples? You know, things that could be clips.
Right.
Because
You've done a good job of that, though.
Yeah.
okay,
It's pretty satisfying. There's a lot of clips here.
I just think a really key aspect of the show is always that it feels weighty because you're seeing someone says something and it cuts to 5 different movies doing that, and you go, "Oh, that is true. I never noticed that, but there's the evidence." You know?
I mean, in After Hours, we saw, I mean, it was usually Dan doing this, but like a person actually saying what the examples were.
Yeah.
Is a thing that's not in this episode. Like where they're like, you know, like you would even just list them. Oh yeah,
But we're
that happened to
showing
this, that
them,
happened to this,
right?
that happened to this. I know. I think this is a little bit better for that, but then if you want to feel like there's a plurality of examples, one of the ways we used to do that in After Hours is we would list them and then show the one that is the best illustration of it.
Right, because that makes the pacing
Yes.
better, and then you don't have to grab.
Yeah.
Yes, and then you don't have to grab so many clips. Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Just a
So,
thought.
but just because pop culture is so vast and every brain has access to different ones,
Yes.
I think we'll go through again page by page,
Right.
being like notes on this page. If you guys think of, a 5th example of that is this movie, that would be great if anything comes to mind.
Oh, yeah.
But also if my other reticence with it is that this was a type of episode that was well represented in the old
Definitely.
show, but it's not the most, I would say the most traditional episode of this type of show is proving that someone who's cast as the villain was actually right, or which is essentially the same, proving why the heroes are awful, through
That was
applying
the
real world metrics to
Right.
it. And we also had a fair number of episodes which were more like, what does this trend in film say about human nature? And it's more of a philosophy treatise. And this is definitely more in that camp. And I just want to bring up, is that a terrible
No.
way to start the
No, I don't
series
think
on?
so. No, I think this.
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
To
But
me-
I do want us to get some episodes in the first batch that are that concrete thing where you're like, my hypothesis is Frasier's dad is a fucking monster.
Right.
Here's the evidence. Boom, 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 boom.
Yes.
This is not that.
No, nor do I think you need that.
Okay.
This feels just as like classic. Like,
Yeah.
After Hours.
No,
Does it feel like there's
anything.
actual informational weight in it enough?
It's definitely the theories are research for sure.
Okay. All right. Cool.
I'm not worried about that.
All right. Then we'll stop milking
the
that.
I
notes
know
I
what
would
you
have
mean.
are
I
not
know
gonna
what you
go in
mean.
that direction.
Sure.
Like they're gonna be all character things.
Okay. Then in that case, I think we should go page by page with
I have 2 general notes.
what I would like to do every page is not move on until we're like, oh, I saw a lot of people in the comments asking why is there only 3 of us. It's whoever could make it. Abe is sick with food poisoning. Tom similarly just couldn't get out of work in time to get here. Sometimes there will be too many people to fit on screen. This time it's just us.
My internet can't handle, or my phone can't handle watching chat.
That's fine. Don't worry about it. But I think a good thing is page by page and just ask any clip ideas we should make note of, any cartoon ideas that jump out at us, and then actual feedback. Cut that, change that, I don't like that line, I have a better joke idea, whatever.
Okay.
And I guess we should go feedback first. So, if you're all cool with the 4 arguments I went with,
They didn't bother me.
then we won't. Okay. But also, if you can beat them, feel free to beat them, not just not bother you, you know. All right, so page 1. Any
I feel like no animation notes just because you're not.
title card hasn't hit yet, which I do
Yeah.
think is a good rule of thumb, regardless.
I think.
I'm
Is
gonna
there
get,
some
sorry, I'm
version
gonna
of-
get pens.
That's okay.
Pens!
My God, what do we do with the stream while he's gone?
Whatever we want.
Dave, don't
Whatever
dance.
we
Please don't
want.
dance, Dave.
It's too late.
All right.
He almost danced. You didn't see it, but he almost did it.
Thank you.
For anyone who wants to make notes on their script, but you have a computer. Okay.
Yeah. So like my thought is, and this is a question. My thought is, Swaim is trying to recreate his old friends. That's great. Is he unsatisfied with the ones he got? You know what I mean? Like, I guess the note I would have is I feel like we lose that thread
Well, to me,
in the course of the episode.
So in my mind, it's supposed to be that the old show was real life,
Right, of
and
course.
was not a show.
Correct. And now
So
they're
in
not.
this universe, the reason it starts with him filming on his phone is
Yeah.
he's trying to make a show to commemorate that time in his life.
Oh.
And then that's why it goes from crappy phone footage to
Right.
good footage. I also think that's a funny joke on the people who gave us all the money.
Yes, that's
For them to start the first
That's
episode
right.
and think it's going to look like shit. And that's funny to me. And so the idea is by the end of the pilot, he's already given up on that idea. He likes this group, and this is now his life. You know what I mean?
Right.
I feel like you have to bring it forward in one line that you
Okay.
want to commemorate it. That's not said, and you do need to bring it forward for me to get it.
Also, it
Wait,
seems
that
like
is-
maybe there should be a moment at the end that pays off where he's like, I do like you guys.
Yes.
We're
I
the
agree.
group now.
And that way, like, I like the idea that they feel like this compulsion they don't agree with
uh-huh.
to like perform
You're like,
for
you
him.
shouldn't do this. though.
Yeah,
Like,
and
yeah, it's
also
not
to
healthy.
perform for him, I guess we're gonna
Yeah,
agree to that, you know, because that's a very Michael thing to do.
right.
And that will give you occasions to like throw in some character jokes that
Yeah.
would be nice here, you know.
Yeah. So speaking of characters, in my mind,
DVG is great and very
Daniel
defined.
Vincent Gord is his own version of a Soren type.
Yes.
He's not exactly like that, but he's in that direction. Stoll is DOB type in my mind. I don't think
okay.
that's very apparent in this draft.
I think.
And
Maggie
I don't
plays
know
that.
if that's the right decision, because once she's cast, she's locked in, so
Right.
let's discuss.
I think that Katie. I mean, it was hard to tell like whether you were casting her as like a little bit of the goth Katie we've seen in the past.
Mm,
You know, sort of like the this thing. You know, like there's a little bit of that here.
right.
She doesn't scan as Daniel to me. Maggie May scans more as Daniel to me in this draft.
I'm sorry, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
I meant Maggie
Oh,
May.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Maggie May is meant to be her own version
Yeah.
of a DOB type, because
That
I do
makes
think we
sense.
need a DOB type.
Yeah, she's not.
Yes, and I was saving Stoll for last because I don't think Stoll has enough yet.
Yeah.
And I want to figure out. I could either leave her undefined in the pilot so that she gets more defined in the next episode in which she appears, or we can figure out what her thing is now.
Well, so like Katie Willer, once upon a time, was supposed to be like a little bit more of a darker personality type.
Cynical about human nature.
But Katie Stoll can actually. Sorry, I don't want to make this sound like a critique. Katie Stoll is actually closer to that as an actor, in things we've seen her in, is closer
Uh-huh.
to that personality type more naturally, and
Oh, yeah.
can lean to that some if she wants to.
Were we talking about maybe making her kind of a bit of a Robert Evans, like revolutionary?
Yeah, why not?
Dark
Yeah,
type?
lean into it.
Okay. I'm
Yeah, a
going to
little
do
bit
that.
like, why don't we burn the shit down? You know.
yeah,
Like-
yeah.
And I feel like she would like that.
Well,
That'd
that
be good for her.
I do agree with that. Stoll's argument, just to remind myself, is Disney reboots. So there would just have to be a joke made where they're like, "You think
You
that?"
think
and
that?
she'd be
She's
like,
like-
"Wait, it is dark for this reason," or whatever.
Yeah.
Or like again, that could hammer home. Yeah, because I think people are fucking shit. I'd rather get
Yeah.
eaten alive by a lion than have to talk to you. Yeah, yeah. So
That would be
makes
fun.
Stoll a little more dark
Like
and
like a human version of your
anti-establishment.
a human version of her character in your movie,
Would she have that same Robert Evans like
Which
those
movie?
weird?
your feature.
Oh, which character? Kyle?
No, the one she played.
Oh, and Kill Me Now.
Yeah, Kill Me Now.
Yeah,
Correct.
yeah, Molly. At
Yes,
the, at
I forgot her
the
name.
shop.
Yeah,
Oh, I assumed you meant Force of Nature, the one we just read.
yeah. No.
I was like, oh, so she should be like killing an international team of terrorists? Okay. I'll try and work that in on budget.
That'll cost me $300 more.
Yeah. Okay, so that's all opening bit. Any jokes or cuts or anything like that?
I think you can beat this joke. No, wait, that was shit. That was shitty. Fuck. I think you can. Beat
Okay,
it.
they were
I think that's
gonna be
what
bleeped. In my mind, it's slightly
That's
funnier
funnier.
bleep that way. If
That
you
is
imagine
funnier.
that,
Bleeps.
but I'm gonna try and beat it anyway.
I think you can beat it with something about they are shit. You guys are. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
like
Attack them and then take it back by the end.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Okay. Obviously, Abe asked us to max out at 8 to 9 pages, so
Where
both.
do we go?
Spoiler alert on Dave's too is Well, it's
Kinda
on the
stuff
writer,
out, yeah.
and we've done this for years and years. You have to trim here and there little bits until you
Yeah.
get a few pages out.
Okay.
I can make that happen. Page 2.
We got our bits and Jenna. Let's. Okay, so for the audience's sake,
Content feedback, clips, or animations.
I'm gonna try to think about how to communicate what we're doing to them. They can't see the script, right?
No,
They don't have it.
they heard it, but
Okay. Maybe we need to read it
Well, I think-
slowly out loud for them then, so that they know what we're doing.
I don't think that's necessary. But let's when we say we have the clip, can go here. Read the
Okay.
line
Yeah,
you
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
or if you say, "Oh, cartoon at blah 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 blah."
Right.
I don't need to reread the page right now, just for content feedback. But is there content feedback on this page before we do the next bit?
On the second page?
Yeah.
Not at the moment.
All right. Clip opportunities or cartoon
I
opportunities.
don't feel like there's too many. Because I like your rule of after title card.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's a good rule. Don't you feel like Maggie May on page 3 after alphanumeric might chide her for going meta already? You know what I mean? Like, oh, we're going meta already. Like that's a rookie move kind of thing. Like, just put a little,
Yeah.
like some fighting here, right?
Yeah. Well, now, also, I'm gonna make Stoll way more aggressive now.
Yeah,
I like
exactly.
that.
Right.
She'd be like, Meta, he was filming us and trying to turn this into a show. Fuck you.
Yeah.
It's already meta. It's already meta. We're there.
Yeah.
And here at the higher level that encompasses there.
I think the title for the streaming service thing could be low stakes, not low
Okay.
key,
Yeah.
or just streaming service reboot. Just
Well,
call it
that's
that.
her main takeaway is you get superpowers, but there's less obligation because the budget's not high enough to blow up the world, usually.
Right.
Right. Then let's just call it streaming service reboot,
Okay.
and then that'll be like the thing we find out about it.
Well, she calls it low stakes after that several
Okay, great.
times, yeah.
Can't hack it in Big Life. I can't hack it in Big Life, so we make it a show. Is Big Life a...
No, it's just how she said, she called movies the big screen.
Right, so on Big
So
Life.
her life is big.
So
it's
we make
scary
me a
to her.
show.
Yeah, so turn it into a show.
Yeah, I can't hack it in Big Life, so we make me a show.
I would, obviously, clips throughout that are called to call themselves
Yes.
out. I thought possibly a cartoon for what would a bottle episode about, what's his name in that?
The owl guy?
The
Oh,
owl. What's his superhero name in Watchmen?
Oh, I don't know.
the man
What's the
who-
name of the owl-themed superhero in Watchmen? What's his superhero name? Stream. Who can get there first?
I have to look for it.
I assume some commenter would know it right away.
There's an owl theme?
Yeah, he's the main guy.
Yeah, he's
the
like,
main guy.
he's the Batman analog. He's the main character.
Yeah.
Night Owl, thank you. So Night Owl, I do think possible cartoon, Night Owl like stuck in a grocery store freezer because he went to get the fresh milk. And, like a very low stakes bottle episode where Owl's just like telling people about summer camp when he was 14 or whatever.
Right.
All right.
Great.
Tune.
Yeah.
I'm in the middle of 3 still. Focus on
Okay.
side characters, because let's be
I
honest.
did an okay job filling it with clips.
Yeah.
Maybe a clip for more people get more represented more of the time. I'm wondering can you guys think of
I think
streaming reboots that have a strong ensemble feel where I might be able to find a zooming shot of the whole cast together sometimes?
streaming
Like
feel
the
like ensemble.
Defenders or.
It has to be a reboot of something that was a
Oh,
film
right.
to fulfill the rules of the premise.
Mm.
Did they do a Predator show?
No, is the Punisher?
I meant Punisher.
Oh yeah, they've
They
done
did
a
do a
Punisher,
Punisher.
Because I
Which
avoided mentioning because I wasn't
There's a
sure.
little more ensemble stuff in Punisher.
I guess Agent Carter, but that's technically a spin-off, not a reboot.
What
It's
about
not
Cobra
a reboot
Kai?
of Captain America.
What about Cobra Kai?
Oh, that's on Hulu or something, right?
Yeah, but it's still streaming.
Yeah. Just I could look for some shot of Cobra Kai that shows the whole
Isn't
cast.
and isn't it an ensemble piece? It's not about that one guy, right? I haven't watched it, but
It's about some snakes.
right. Some snakes that got headbands.
Maybe
Right, so-
Punisher. I just feel like, or maybe even compare Watchmen posters, like, because I could find that film poster that's just like Dr. Manhattan's the most important, and then compare it with the advertising for the Watchmen show, which is
Yeah.
much more like it's the whole Watchmen. Anyway, I'll try and find something there. The next bit doesn't call out for that much, so we're going to page 4.
I was gonna say that you could do, because let's be honest, we all feel like main characters, but we're not. So an ensemble life makes sense. So like
Yeah.
reminiscent of that show that Lisa Kudrow did after Friends. You know how she was like in a reality show.
The comeback?
Yeah. So like, remember how like it showed a poster of her as the main character in her first sitcom, and then way in the background in the sitcom that she was in. Something like that, but a drawing of Maggie. Maggie as main character of this sitcom, but in fact she's like the quirky aunt in some other sitcom.
Maggie
It's like
zoom
2
out.
posters.
That'd be cool. Or like
Yeah.
even if it's, you must have seen the poster that's every Simpsons character, so it's thousands. Start zoomed in so you think it's about her, and zoom out and there's a bunch of other
Yeah, and it
characters.
turns out it's like rad kids.
So
Like,
there's
whatever,
a tune possibility, yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, page 4.
Maggie's line I could see with the but not so much better that it comes with a bunch of, it's like the Uncle Ben's, because that stuff just a low stakes superhero thing there, right, for animation.
Which line exactly?
There are other more superpowered people out there worrying about Thanos. You just get to file papers and occasionally solve a mystery.
Yeah.
Something with like a Superman character, but with like a okay man, or like something that's just some sort of low stakes.
A mediocre,
superhero.
somehow nerfed superhero. Maybe that Spike guy from Last Class? You know what I mean? X-Men Last Class? First Class?
Spike
Spike guy.
no, that's
The Spiker.
Last Stand.
Last Stand, yeah.
Yeah, that fucking guy.
Just remember, Maggie's gonna bring like a peppy, very charismatic energy
A
to
fish
this.
sauce.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
I mean, you could do, if you did it as animation, you could establish the whatever, like the chipper okay superhero, and then for Stoll's line of being abruptly canceled, just murder that character.
Oh yeah, they get abruptly canceled.
And just cut to black.
Well, or Mickey Mouse slaughtering.
Just stabbing one of them.
Which was one of the ones. Like 4 Netflix shows got canceled simultaneously.
I mean,
like Mickey Mouse murdering Agent Carter or something.
right, or Jessica Jones.
That's the one I'm
Jones.
thinking of.
Yeah.
Mickey murdering that's the connotations given the plot of Jessica Jones are a little
That's not true.
Yeah.
But what's
But there's
Mickey
other
murdering?
ones. We can find.
Yeah.
Well, and then they had that other. What was the other superhero? Like Cage.
Luke Cage.
Luke
I loved
Cage.
all these stupid shit.
I know, and they all got abruptly stopped mid-story.
Yeah, he like chops his head off and then. You know, like.
That's goofy, you ignorant. No.
No, he has that.
Yeah.
Not the goofy one. Yeah. Right.
Page 5. It's almost like a Mario mixed with a
Right.
David Letterman.
Right.
All right. Agent Coulson clip. Oh, I want to follow that clip. Because Loki kills Coulson. And now I just want to immediately cut to Loki himself also getting killed by Thanos. And then cut to Thanos getting killed by Thor.
Yeah.
Like, none of this shit matters.
That's so good.
Yeah.
That's so good.
They are the Walking Dead. Okay.
That's why I avoid people entirely is on point.
Yeah, I feel like Stoll needs well, she just had one, but I mean, there will be Disney clips in there. In Stoll's line.
I think there's a
Trailers.
line. You become fodder for the lives of more interesting people.
Think there
That's
should be a
what I
joke
need.
in the middle.
Yeah, like that's where Mike needs more interesting people, right?
Yeah.
Than you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Interesting
more
people.
interesting people. Yeah, exactly. That's why I avoid people entirely. I'm going
I
Disney.
can beat this joke. I think the orphan joke. Whole thing. It's an awkward phrasing.
Who wouldn't want their lives to be the same but with better graphics? I feel like there was an animation.
Yep,
there.
I agree, and it makes her argument clearer.
Yeah.
someone's life represented, and then it gets
Like someone
better,
sharing an apartment.
but it's not like the
better,
situation
or
gets
like-
right.
Yeah.
It's still messy, but it's drawn better.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's just nicer looking. Yeah.
Shitty apartment, drawn, upgraded. All right.
More. I mean, the next line you could also animate that.
The trachea?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Animate a trachea.
Although that
in
might
CG.
be fun to see someone
I-
see
CG
I think it's gonna be more fun to see DVG
Yeah.
talk about the trachea.
Agreed.
Page 6.
It's Your Life, redone by Technical Wizards and probably directed by Jon Favreau. No. Who, let's admit it, already does a fine job. Alright. Like, that's just, like, classic group response shit.
Yeah.
Add group response after Jon Favreau. I think
Yes.
he's good.
He is good. But I feel like people, like,
He just reliably will do anything you hand
Right,
him and
and I
not
think-
make waves.
I think people just are instantly like,
yeah,
Jon
because he's a
Favreau.
sellout.
Yeah.
And then he made one movie about how he hates selling out, and it's like, but you do still.
Yeah, well, I'm sure you enjoy the paycheck, my friend.
Yeah,
I don't blame you for it.
I do not. I have no axe against. What's his name?
Making money.
Peppy? What's his freaking name in the MCU?
What?
John Favreau's name in the
Fucking-
MCU, Peppy or something stupid like that.
It's not Peppy.
Happy.
Happy.
Yeah.
His name is Happy?
His name is Happy.
Yeah.
No.
Fav, no! Warp. Still get suckers to give you their money. I want room around that because that's a visual
Yeah.
joke already.
That's great.
Imagine how Lumiere is gonna be in the.
Oh yeah, hot candlestick.
Yeah, you could just do a candlestick with like a blurred out giant area where the dick is.
Yeah, of course.
Lin-Manuel Miranda as Lumiere. That goes there. Okay, then they're arguing. I think the Spider-Man supercut will be fun.
Yeah, that's great.
I can trim. I mean, we don't have to say trim. I'll trim some of these jokes.
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
Does that argument stand for you guys, equating the origin story to getting to relive your childhood over and over? So I was also wondering if maybe I should reference something like Remember the Titans, but that's not a reboot.
Yeah.
Something, a sports one also, so you're like, yeah, I get it. If you won the big game, you would get to win the big game over and
Bad
over.
News Bears had a reboot.
Yeah. So maybe Bad News Bears clip. Do they win in that? I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen any of the Bad News Bears.
Hey, at the end of Bad News Bears, do they win some kind of sporting event
They have to.
stream?
That's just like rules.
Well, there's some sports movies where they lose at the end, but they're uplifted anyway for a different reason.
Can we get an Angels in the Outfield reboot, by the way?
No.
I know, but I want that. You want a Mario
Demons
reboot.
at the dog park.
Demons at short.
Yeah, the shortstop is the devil. Possibly Maggie's head on a fire truck, like Thomas the Tank Engine style. Could be.
Oh,
Yeah,
that would be
great.
great.
Alright. 10. Maggie the Tank Engine, and she's saying like, "Woo! I'm a fire
and then-
truck."
Yeah, right. She's imagining it, and then you like come in real hard with, "Are you going to eat your beans?"
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, we're moving to page 7, page 8 rather. We will read another episode after this, so if this part of the stream's boring, use it to fall asleep to.
Yeah.
I don't want cartoons of the events. I want them to just say
Yeah.
those things. I think gourd clips make sense. I don't want to overload it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a tune of how DVG views himself could cement
Yeah.
his character in the series, you know?
Yeah, he's already pretty well realized.
Alright.
But no, but I
Yeah.
think that would be good.
Well, the artist won't be able to do all these, so we can think of more than,
Right.
and then they won't all get done. That's fine.
Like he just sees himself as a hero, and then he fixes a trachea.
Yeah.
Just like fixing tracheas.
Is Baby Astronaut a tune, possibly?
Yeah.
or a clip? I don't know.
I can also
Oh,
see Superman
no.
watching his people die over and over again.
That should be clips.
Oh, that could
Because
be.
there's at least
Just
3 or
the
4
planet
iterations of
exploding over and
Krypton
over
exploding
again.
on
Yeah,
film. Yeah. That's a good supercut.
I think it's too short a line for animated thing. Hey, being a big
Okay.
astronaut rule.
You're still wrong because regardless of how awesome the thing is. Okay, those are just jokes. This is one where
No, I like you.
yeah. Line pitch. This is the one where I actually felt the most like it needs more examples. I feel like there's more gritty reboots I'm just not thinking of. Like there's got to be more gritty reboots
Well, there
than
was the Huntsman.
Batman and Casino Royale.
There was the Snow White and the Huntsman or whatever.
Oh shit, good point.
There was,
yeah.
there was
Was
like a whole
Punisher
genre of that.
rebooted?
Was what?
Yes.
Was it a
many
reboot
times.
technically, or was it?
Punisher Warzone was a reboot.
Yeah, Fantastic Four got the gritty reboot.
Yep, and Four Sticks.
So clips, I'm gonna say maybe Fan 4, Punisher. Would you call Fantastic Four gritty though? Did they gritty it up?
Oh, they grittied it up.
Yeah? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well,
because the first one had,
Riverdale,
Yeah, that was a gritty reboot.
says someone on the chat. Thank you. That's true.
It's a huge show.
So Sabrina, for that matter.
Yep.
Um,
You could argue the Star Trek stuff is gritty reboots.
oh, I think it is.
Yeah,
the
both
Star
the
Trek
movies and the shows.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the
Yeah.
Star Trek movie is grittier for sure.
Oh yeah, the second one is like just he does a 9/11 like
Yeah.
he
On
does several.
Starfleet
Yeah.
City
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Which I believe is San Francisco. In
God, that
canon.
movie is fascinating.
First one's alright.
Yeah.
Cool. So I will throughout 10, 11, and 12 work in a wider range of clips of gritty reboots because I do think that'll make it feel like a stronger
Right.
argument. And then of course I don't know what the clips will be, but I do think there should be clip examples for right. But in gritty reboot, your problems are ridiculous, which is easier to accept. And cut to the Punisher being like,
Yeah.
but they blew up my family or whatever. I just know that I can find a clip that will be funny there. I don't know what it is yet. Could easily be Star Trek, where they're like, but if the tachyon field's reversed, then the diplomats won't reach the summit on time.
Do I know?
Mm.
I'm gonna expose. I'm willing to be embarrassed on the stream.
It's
Is O-ring a super clear joke?
O-ring is a slang for butthole.
Okay, is it a known slang?
Well, I can swap
I
it out
figured
for
out from the
any other
context.
slang for butthole.
I figured it out from the context, but it didn't like instantly scan for me.
People on the stream, do you use the phrase O-ring as a slang for
I
butthole?
don't think anybody uses it, right? It's just.
But are you aware
Yeah.
that it's an archaic
it's
term
a-
for that?
Yeah.
What about bungus?
I mean, bungus is a
Helicopter propeller blading some bunguses into thinly sliced.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Salami.
much easier.
By the way, salami is the unsaid end of the line.
Yeah.
A nice charcuterie plate of buttholes.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Probably gritty meme image. We haven't had a tune in a couple pages. There should be two more tunes in the last couple pages if possible.
What did I see?
Possibly Michael
Yeah. the
riding a motorcycle at into court while swinging chains. Like he's there to
Yeah,
solve a
something-
mundane problem. Yeah. We're in the post office.
Yeah.
Yeah. Michael doing this tune. I'm flipping to 11. Yeah, I want to make it clear that they're letting him win, if that makes sense.
Okay.
In this one,
Like, 'cause you're
they're like
'cause you're
scared
sad?
of him.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
because they're
he's gone-
scared he's too fragile.
He's gone too dark.
I think I can make it clearer that Stoll votes for that one because she's like, and in that case, with her new characterization, it should probably be Fish or
It should be Fish.
Votes for Michael because they feel sorry for him. And then Stoll should point out that
Fish's
your
line
parents
should be Stoll. Yeah.
right. I don't think we should I don't think we should define fridge. They'll probably cut that. Do people agree with that? Does everyone know what that means nowadays? Fridge.
I
As
think.
a
I mean, I
TV
think
trope.
it's funnier to define it, actually.
Okay.
I actually like that joke, personally.
Is it worth going to clips of like the
No.
lady in Deadpool 2
No.
getting killed
No,
at
no,
the time?
yes.
For, okay. I don't know why. I understand why it's called fridge metaphorically because you're putting them in the fridge. But I'm just wondering who came up with that. There's so many metaphors you could have used. Why that one?
Yeah.
All right.
I don't think.
I think that's it.
Yeah, I don't think any cartoons or anything.
I don't really see opportunity.
Are you gonna? Is that last bit gonna definitely happen?
It's whoever I can get to come by. I would imagine that between Katie and Soren,
You can get one of them.
someone will be willing to drop by at any time throughout 12 hours on a Saturday, and whenever they show up, we promise we'll just get their shot. It'll take 15 minutes and they can go.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I figure one of them will do it. Yeah. Cool. All right, and you already gave me the note about the ending up top.
Yep.
Cool. If you made additional notes, please send them to me after the fact. Next episode.
Yes, sir. Can we do like a 2-minute?
Sure.
Is that cool?
Oh yeah. All right. We're gonna wander off frame for 5 minutes and then come back, or maybe 2.
I can make it 2 minutes.
Okay. I'm gonna use the restroom.
I can
Stream
make
to
it 4
resume.
minutes.
Oh, that's what I figured. All right. So 5 minutes.
Come here, kitty. Come here. Come here. Let me go through mine real quick. I wrote this thinking there's going to be one. There's going to be the Tom one.
Dave, they're asking for a dance break.
No. Oh no, kitty.
I feel like you don't understand that these are the people that pay your bills.
I'm good to a nap. I'll do a nap. That's like a dance.
Nap break?
Yeah.
It's like a dance for your mind?
Yeah. Meow. That's what you sound like. Meow.
Sound ridiculous.
Yeah.
How long is yours?
10 pages. Mine is a lot less realized
Classic Dave.
because I was like, okay, this is going to be like the 3rd or 4th episode. None of the characters are in it but Michael. The others are just placeholder names.
Okay.
And so there's going to be a lot, because I figured I had a lot more time to work on this one. So it's a little rougher. I'm okay with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cast it as we go.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be a conversation. Because the characters are less
Defined for you.
defined, yes.
I want to make sure I understand what the cast is again.
What?
Who the cast is.
Yeah. Oh, definitely for the next draft, I wanted to know who the cast was for this because.
I actually just heard. I was just talking to Damien today. So. And I want to try to make sure he's in the mix.
Yeah. Kitty.
What? What do you want?
Oh no.
Play with the cat for a minute so people
No.
will be entertained.
No!
Would you like to?
Why are you
baby?
using the bathroom? Alright.
Will you accept it? Will you accept me holding you like a baby?
You will if you flip them quick.
Okay.
Yeah, you know,
Oh, I'm gonna get attacked by a cat on the stream. I'm sorry, cat. I'm sorry. Now it's just me. How you guys doing? You having a good day? I can't read you. I'm not going to look to read you. So I'm just going to sit here like an asshole. Let's look at Twitter. I was going to look at Twitter.
I'll check the stream and see what
Yeah.
people are saying. Rusty Venture. Something about Rusty Venture. Rusty Starfish as a euphemism
as a
for
butthole.
buttholes. What was it? The chocolate hot dog flavored water and the chocolate starfish was that Corn album.
That was a corn album?
I think Corn, maybe Limp Bizkit. It might. I think probably Limp Bizkit.
I'm also going to use the bathroom.
Oh boy!
My turn.
Now he's gonna use the bathroom.
You guys got to.
It's
You should have
just
planned ahead, bro.
the toilet can only withstand so much.
Dave, you're maximizing this thing. You're putting it into overdrive. Can I get a water? Do you mind?
Yeah.
Yes, I
Want
do.
me to get it for you?
Seems like you're gonna do it anyway. So, fuck yourself. I can do it.
Happy Hogan, that's right. That's Favreau's name.
That's right.
Well, I'm trying to find the answer to the Bad News Bears question, but I don't think anyone posted it.
Somebody said they lost.
They lose at the end of Bad News Bears.
Yeah.
I ideally would like to find some kind of sports moment to drive that home, but I'll figure it out. Okay, so if you're just joining us and wondering what the fuck is going on, thanks to the support of our fan base, we are launching Off Hours soon, our new web series. And this is a script reading. We're on a brief intermission right now. We just finished reading the pilot script and providing feedback, as well as generating clip concepts for the editor, which is also me, to insert into the episode, and cartoons for our talented artists to work on. When Dave gets back from duking,
He's pooing his brains out right now.
we will. Are you calling him a shit for brains? We will read Dave's script,
My God, I can't wait.
which is potentially going to be the second episode. I'm going to talk to you about this because you're production minded, and
Okay.
Dave, I know Dave doesn't care
Okay.
about being included on this part, but he's coming back anyway. It's only really, we can only afford it at the amount of money that we have coming in.
Yeah,
If we shoot at least 2.
of course.
We really want it to drop before the end of May so that people know that it's real and we did it.
So that means you gotta shoot.
Which is a tall order. I gotta be honest, honestly, we should give ourselves 2 months to get a series like this off the ground, but we're trying to do it in one because we want the people who just found Small Beans because of Off Hours and immediately signed up
Right.
to feel like, oh, and then it happened, So we're busting ass, so I will say
You gotta shoot it in a week, basically. Week and a half.
either this
You're also
weekend or
showing-
the following week.
You're
yeah.
showing your work so people know. I found that
That's true.
we've had delay with rewards on our Patreon, and it usually helps by just messaging them and be like, so this is what's
Right.
happening in my life. This is what we're doing.
Is this stream available for patrons to look at?
Afterwards, yeah, it gets posted to the
so
YouTube channel.
They can see that we're working on it.
True, but my point being, we still are trying to get a shoot together in the next week or 2. I know you didn't. I haven't read your script yet.
I was saying.
I know you didn't intend write it
Yeah, I
as
was
a
saying
second episode.
it's not a second episode, in the sense that it's actually very.
Can I have a copy of it?
You're kind of similar in it.
So I'm
than the
wondering
last
if
one.
I think something we should be thinking about is if we're gonna need to retrofit this in some way to make it a second episode,
Mhm.
or
If we need to wait a
Or
little
if-
more time.
Tom said he's shooting to have his script done by the weekend.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. This.
Which I still think we could work with, but I need to. I guess I would need to know what cast he has in mind.
Yeah.
That would be key, and we'd have to do
Yeah.
rewrites just so fast.
Yeah.
All right. So you want this out by the 31st of May?
Yeah, hopefully the pilot will drop on May 31st.
Okay.
Can I get one of yours?
Yeah.
And you want to cast us?
Sure. Right now, it's really. Let's just see. You are the only person in it that has a real name. The others are Walnuts, Scorpion, and Gary Sinise.
Gary Sinise is a real name.
Yeah, I don't know.
over here.
Get over here.
So how would we do it? I could do across the page in one character.
Does that imply that you have not, in your mind,
You-
even figured out who you want him to be?
That's exactly it.
Okay.
I knew that you were going to be in it because we discussed that.
I'm also free.
Like I said, I thought I'd have this was going to be the next shoot.
Uh-huh.
So I kind of planned it as it's the characters are less defined. It's a little rougher.
Sure.
And so I was hoping this meeting would let me hone in on okay, who's going to play these people,
Okay.
and then I can be able to.
Well, let's talk about it after we read.
Exactly.
Whether you have time in your
Um,
life to get it done in time to be the second
yeah.
episode or
You,
not.
you can play yourself and then the alternate version of yourself, which
Oh,
is in this.
Boy.
Yeah,
All right.
sorry.
Should they be differentiable?
No.
Is he evil
Well,
or
you'll see,
anything?
you'll
Okay.
Who do you want to be? You want to be Gary Sinise?
I mean,
You wanna be-
whoever I fit.
I don't. All right, be Walnuts and Gary Sinise, and I'll be Scorpion and
You've really pleased me today
across
already,
the
Dave.
page. Yeah.
All right. So I will be reading Michael, another Michael, Adam will be playing Walnuts and Gary Sinise.
Yeah.
Perfect. Roles I was born to play.
Yep. Interior dining or living room, whatever. Walnut, Scorpion, and Gary Sinise sit around an elaborate board game that takes up most of the table. They suspiciously eyeball Michael, who is oddly disheveled, torn shirt, messy hair. Oh, and he has an eye patch and a face scar.
Great.
Is it my action?
Who are you?
What? I'm your good pal, Michael. Swain, your pal.
No, our pal Michael just went to the bathroom. They look to a nearby door to the muffled sounds of water.
You guys can skip me. This is going to be a whole event. From the bathroom. Yeah, that's why I covered my
Yeah, you're muffled.
You just walked in through the front door and sat down, but not before looking at me and gasping, "Oh my God, you're alive," which I am not a fan of.
It's just a goof. You can't take a goof?
It's just silence and disbelief.
Okay, fine. I'm from another timeline. Dave.
Budget-wise, this is pretty
Sure.
cool.
I just need to lay low for a minute.
He
That's
always
okay.
does this shit, by the way.
He breaks the show immediately as soon as you give it to him.
Fucking-
It's been a day, you know?
More silence.
Hey, I brought the Fanta. Huh? Didn't I?
That's true. He did bring Fanta with him. Yeah, I haven't had that for years.
So maybe let's just play the game and not be so judgy about who came from what timeline.
They return to the game, politely ignoring the fact that Michael's nose has started to bleed. You know what this reminds me of? Title: Famous characters who belong in different cinematic timelines. So the premise of X-Men is that these amazing mutations are the product of recent evolution, right? We see in First Class, which takes place in the 60s, that they're initially treated like a folktale, more like folktale than a social issue.
Sure, it's like that Baba Yaga, but with chest lasers.
A lot of these mutations, when taken out of context, would seem downright demonic. So imagine someone like Jean Grey and having to battle your inner phoenix while having no idea what's happening to you, and also grappling with the emotions and cruelty of adolescence. One bad prom night and you might end up annihilating your entire yearbook. Clip Carrie from the movie Carrie doing that exact thing.
You're talking about Carrie?
Had Carrie been an
A movie.
Sticky page. A movie that takes place in the late 70s, the same time Jean Grey would be in high school. Michael coughs and gasps for air, clearly injured.
It's like Carrie's The Secret Dark Phoenix prequel. I get it. She even has the same powers. Telekinesis, fire conjuring. Wow, I miss doing this, you guys. We don't,
He stares through Gary Sinise.
we don't get to see each other much where I'm from.
No, I get it. I'm dead in your timeline.
Buried alive.
Super didn't ask how I died. Didn't have any desire to know. So what you're saying is that Carrie belongs in the X-Men universe.
It certainly would have avoided a lot of deaths had Carrie found her Professor X to help her.
Except, opposite of that, there are so many deaths in the X-Men universe, many of which are caused by Jean Grey.
Jean turning people into dust in X-Men 3.
Had Carrie been an X-Men mutant, murdering a handful of shitty teenagers before dying is actually the better scenario. At least compared to getting recruited as a child soldier, kiss vaporizing your cycloptic lover, and then murdering an entire landmark's worth of people. In terms of bulk output of mentally hijacked kids, Professor X is a far worse guardian than a single religious nut.
My dirty pillows. Ah, yes. Point and counterpoint. Repartee. Just like we used to do. You guys have no idea how much this warmed my heart. Come here.
He reaches a dirty hand out and clasps Walnut's shoulder, pulling them into an awkward hug.
This is great. It's great just to be here like this.
You smell like a tire.
Yeah, well, rubber's a currency where I come from.
So speaking of the Baba Yaga,
No one mentioned the Baba Yaga.
it was like a minute ago, just let me have this. I wanted to talk about John Wick.
Everybody's audibly excited.
Ooh, John
John
Wick.
Wick is the shit.
Such a good movie. From the bathroom. That's very funny.
Great.
But not when you're reading it.
It is good, though. So when Lawrence Fishburne showed up in the second John Wick movie, everybody either joked or loosely theorized that this was somehow a Matrix sequel. Of course, that would be impossible since Neo dies at the end of that movie.
Like a gas.
Ah, come on. Really?
And reads the room.
It hasn't come out yet where I'm from. I mean, we only just got the Animatrix.
That might be the most depressing thing you've said so far.
Michael, I'm sorry.
Alive. Buried alive. Sorry, go ahead.
Just keep imagining me being buried while I'm saying it. That's great. Michael, I'm sorry I spoiled the Matrix for you, but I have some good news. This is going to be a video game coming out in a few years called Path of Neo, and it'll be fantastic.
Is it going to be on Commodore or the Laser Active?
Well, Wallace begins to speak with Gary Sinise raises a hand.
Let's not get distracted. My point is there's a series of levels in Path of Neo where you play out, in real time, the seemingly instant training programs you see in the first film.
I know Kung Fu.
As a clip. The clip from the movie
clip.
Matrix where he says,
Yeah,
I
you
don't
can
come
do
through.
Yeah.
It means that every time you see a character learn something through the Matrix, they're actually living out the training for that skill in a different character. So when Trinity learns to fly that helicopter, what we're not seeing is her brain experiencing countless hours of tedious piloting lessons. Exactly. And so now we have John Wick, a film where everyone pays for goods and services with random amounts of gold coin, and most of the civilians appear to either be secret assassins or utterly impressed with the carnage happening around them. You know, almost like NPCs would act. It literally makes the most sense if these films took place in the tail end of one of those Matrix training programs.
And so Morpheus just Morpheus just programmed himself as a bird-fingering crime lord for fun in a program where someone crunches Neo's puppy like some kind of Grimm Brothers ogre. What kind of bummer training is that?
What
God
better
damn it, Dave.
What better way to emotionally prepare someone for the upcoming machine war? John Wick appears older, more hardened, because Morpheus wants him to feel more capable and wise, like the kind of person who might understand sacrifice and loss. And again, it literally makes the most sense opposed to John Wick taking place in any version of reality, I think.
Wait, but Neo doesn't accept sacrifice and loss. At least not in Reloaded, the last Matrix movie I've seen. He tears apart an entire city to save Trinity after meeting the Architect, which, wow, mind blown, am I right? Ugh, the third film's gonna be amazing. Right? Isn't it?
Everyone avoids eye contact. He also doesn't fight the same way as John Wick, meaning that Neo would have completely ignored his training.
They do share the same emotionless, can-do attitude when it comes to mercilessly killing uniformed randos. Wait, so you got John Wick, but not the third Matrix in your timeline?
I was about to ask the right of that.
If we're making sociopathic tendencies with younger characters, then I might propose Ferris Bueller is just as... Oh, I'm sorry, so I need to transition here. If we're making sociopathic tendencies with younger characters, then might I just propose Ferris Bueller with just a younger version of Deadpool? Was just a younger version of Deadpool.
New argument, Ferris Bueller was
Yes.
just young Deadpool. Oh!
I did great. The obvious comparison is that both characters are able to break the fourth wall, the Deadpool movie even calling this out, by similarly spoofing Ferris's ending. But they were also extremely similar in the way that they talk, their blatant lack of compassion, and their rebellious values. Ferris encourages Cameron to stand up to his father the same way that Deadpool challenges the authority of Professor X.
Oh God! So you're saying that Ferris Bueller exists in the X-Men universe?
And that breaking the fourth wall is actually mutant power. Like the best mutant power. Ferris is only honing it in the high school before becoming ostracized and changing his name to Wade Wilson.
You mean like how Carrie was actually found by Professor X, who psychically changed her memories to be Jean Grey?
Seriously, I've missed this so much.
And so Carrie, Ferris Bueller, and Deadpool all exist in the same world.
That world obviously being the Matrix, you guys.
The toilet flushes and everyone waits for an entrance.
That was just one of several flushes. So, is anyone wondering how breaking the fourth wall of a movie could be a mutant power?
Could it be?
I haven't thought that far ahead yet, but it does seem impossible, actually.
Are we allowing this?
Well, if you played Path of Neo, you might also remember the alternate fight between your character and Seraph, where the two of them crash into a movie theater playing their fight scene from The Matrix. The implication being that through some wacky glitch, they exist as a movie of themselves.
Flush.
Is this bathroom or normal?
That's normal.
Okay. So in the Matrix universe, I think what my bathroom friend is saying is, it is possible to break your own fourth wall.
But that game is nuts. It extends the vampires and werewolves at the Merovingians' estate into a whole case of insane glitch characters. There's also ghosts and giant ants and random crazy powers. Wow, a lot more Path of Neo fans at this table than I expected.
Random crazy powers, not unlike mutant powers. When you say dweebs,
I would say that, Michael. Oh, and considering how incredibly diverse and inorganic a lot of mutant powers are, it actually makes way more sense that they are people unknowingly hacking the Matrix.
this dweeb gets it. So Carrie, Ferris
Fucking
Bueller,
crazy, dude.
Deadpool, X-Men, John Wick, they're all characters that exist in the Matrix. I solved it for you.
I mean, but with that lunatic logic, we can just throw any supernatural character or monster in the Matrix. You could say the Cloverfield monster or Pennywise the Clown were made from some wayward Matrix program.
No, that's not true. Pennywise, the Cloverfield monster, came from the Upside Down, which, yes, is a glitch in the Matrix discovered in the 80s before Neo came on the scene. It was closed using the Jean Grey mutant powers that Eleven was given. But not before one of the Demogorgons got out and eventually grew large enough to smash New York City.
Right, the Upside Down is just like a trash bin for the Matrix where discarded programs live. That would also explain the Cloverfield paradox being a group of astronauts glitching outside the confines of the program.
So you have Netflix in your timeline?
Yeah, but we call it get flicks. Like you get the flicks. God, my head hurts.
I really think we need to stop what's happening here. What if they touch? Are they going to time cop die? Is anyone else worried right now?
Michael grips his head and kneels, heels forward, face on the table. On cue, other Michael opens the bathroom door, standing proud.
Ooh, that was an adventure. Anyway, it's pretty fucked up that Morpheus didn't help kill Thanos.
He looks to the table.
Are you guys drinking Fanta?
Great.
Fantastic.
I feel like we could... Okay, you're going to hate me, and I'm sorry. I feel like you could lose all the Path of Neo stuff.
No!
And make the case that
It's true.
this is all either in the Matrix or, frankly, all in the X-Men universe.
I do like it ending up all being in the Matrix. I liked... The reason I would... The Path of Neo connection piece I did really like was the thing about seeing clips from the movie within the movie.
I like that, too.
But I think you could save that without dipping into Path of Neo as often.
Yeah, that's true.
But I do think the evidence...
Think at all. I don't think anybody knows that game, dude. I really
It's a
don't.
great game.
I mean, some of our fans will, because they're into culture to a deep level, but it's a fair point.
Yeah.
Path of Neo, you don't need it, but it's a good
But, like, you could
glue
even-
that binds it all together.
You could even boil that all down to... Also, there was a Matrix video game where in a fight you see a clip from the Matrix movie.
Yeah.
So the
Yeah.
creators
Yeah.
have already admitted that in this universe, that fourth wall is a thing.
Yeah.
That would be less of a problem.
Yeah, I can see just not having as much.
Several thoughts. I think it's really funny to cut to a shot of the closed bathroom door with muffled dialogue for jokes. I think when Bathroom Michael actually makes a full monologue argument
That's
through the
insane.
door, the shot will be super boring.
Yeah.
It's funny for 30
Yeah.
seconds.
You could do reaction
No,
shots.
dude, it's
I
funny for
guess.
30 seconds, and then it's fucking dumb. And then you gotta do it for so long that it gets really good. That's like 10 minutes, man. You can't do it.
Oh. You could do a jar bathroom door.
As soon as I saw that he was
You could
making
do
an
it.
argument,
You could, yeah,
that's when I was like, no,
I
I can't do
agree.
that.
Unless you make it that the bathroom door is ajar and he literally is like, you can see his face a little bit or something.
Just peeking out.
Okay, so you could also do different sizes on the door. So you're kind of close up for more emotional moments of the door, and it's like wider for the bigger points. That would be funny. Maybe a dolly
I
move for
really-
his big monologue.
I really
You know,
like the premise of you hearing this other voice that's yourself and just not like yeah, you could do your face, but I like the not seeing and still participating.
I know it is.
I
it's
also-
funny. I agree.
And I'll ask the stream to weigh in on this in the comments as well. To me, because we may want to make this episode 2, it does feel like yes, I grant you, on episode 20, you could have doppelgangers because it's an episode
Yes.
about doppelgangers.
I wrote this assuming it wasn't going to be.
But as
episode
episode 2, it feels like people will wonder, oh, is the show that magical? Like the show Off Hours? However, most of the people watching it will see it as a continuation of a thing that already went 10 years, so it's like do whatever you want. But at the same time, do other people feel that it would be confusing stream if episode 2 of our show already was going that high concept, like there's 2 Michaels in it?
Well,
Doesn't bother you?
you come in a Terminator outfit. Soren came in from another dimension in a different episode.
Right. There's been an episode of After Hours where it's revealed pretty conclusively Soren is there from another timeline.
Right.
But I'm arguing that because this show is a new show,
Right.
it feels early to do
Right.
that. But I understand that everyone watching will already be like, it's just After Hours, do whatever the fuck you want. You know what I mean? I don't know.
I mean,
I don't feel that weird about it.
I don't. Yeah, I personally don't feel weird about it. I did write this with that consideration because I was thinking of the X-Files revival where they took a 2022 season thing and made it 10.
yeah.
And so they still had like this is the one fucking Jose Chung episode.
yeah.
But it's like they would have it later on because they're like we're still gonna have the weird shit. We are gonna wait a little bit. But I mean, I don't
no
know,
one
it
has said it
depends.
would bother them, so
Okay.
maybe I'm just
They're
being
not going to
weird.
say that.
I
But
know
I
I
will
understand
say-
the worry because I
The bathroom shot bothers me more than
Yes.
the concept
That
of
is
there
a
being
problem.
magic in the show.
right.
Okay, I had a weird solve possibly, which is that to reveal that Michael climbed out the window, walked around the front of the house, and has like a tape recorder in the bathroom. And then they'd be like, but that's even less likely that everything you recorded would match up with what we're saying.
Right.
What the fuck are you talking about? But as far as the meat of the arguments,
And it ends with you making out with yourself.
That was the alternate of you just being like, so are we gonna fuck or what? Like just coming out, but
I had thought about the arguments, which is that I think I know what you mean, but I still think it can be clarified with a pass. How everything ends up. It makes sense to me, but I just say focus on clarity when you do the next pass.
oh
'cause,
yeah,
like,
there's definitely gonna be some clarity.
to
with
me, the
wording
idea
in
that
general.
it actually makes sense that X-Men in the X-Men universe, if you gather that we're admitting already that it's nested within the Matrix, that does make sense because the mutation is akin to typing in a cheat code in a video game.
Right.
That all makes sense to me, but I think it can be even clearer.
I mean, the way you just worded it is
It's hard to.
better.
It's complicated, so
Because
that's good.
Path of Neo definitely introduces the more glitchy stuff, but
Right.
again, you're right that like, I don't think Path of Neo people will still get it without an example like that.
I also think the point about the upside down. What was it? It grows and becomes okay. I think the thing about in the section about the upside down, I wondered if it called out to me that there might be an opportunity that the upside down is where the Ghostbusters trap empties out.
I like that.
Could be a cool connection.
Yeah.
But he's trying to make the case there's really one universe, and it's the Matrix. Ultimately, right? That's what he's ultimately doing.
Well, he's saying that, if I follow correctly, Carrie's actually Jean Grey. And then someone sort of unrelatedly goes, yeah, also my argument is that John Wick is actually Neo from the Matrix. And then someone takes them both and connect. That's
Right,
where it
and
was
then
unclear
Deadpool-
to me.
Deadpool-
It's all the Matrix.
Deadpool's
okay.
already in the X-Men universe.
I
so
see. I think
Deadpool
someone
being
needs to make that connection clear, where you go, so if Deadpool's a mutant and Deadpool's in the Matrix, then all the X-Men are also in the Matrix. And like that connection is the least clear right
Yes,
now.
and it's also the coolest thing.
Yes,
Right.
I agree. So make that clear.
Wait, which is the cooler thing?
That you've made everything one universe.
Yes.
Everything fits into one universe.
And yet it can't. It has to feel earned. It can't feel cheap.
Right.
And the connection that makes it feel earned is going, aha! I convinced you that Carrie is an X-Men, and I convinced you that Deadpool is in the Matrix, and I convinced you, and they share a universe. Therefore,
Right. Ipso
that
facto.
connection. Ipso facto. So maybe there's room just as a one-off joke that the Upside Down could be where the Ghostbuster shit comes out, but you don't want to make it a building block of the argument because it's
Yeah, I like at the end just piling it on, like where it's like, and we can just start.
And I think you could
Shoving.
maybe take a little time or more time around. They just sort of casually accept, right, a Jean Grey is 11. And that is obvious to me, but I think you could have one line where they're like, they have the same blah, 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 blah.
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
obvious. Carrie, Jean Grey, and 11 are all the same.
Yep. Cut the nosebleed.
Which one?
Hard to shoot.
Yeah, that's a nightmare for you. And also, it does cost a little money.
Sure.
It's a funny joke. If you could do it in post.
We'll have
that's
makeup.
alright.
We'll have MUA, but it'll be Heather, so she'll probably have blood on her.
I remember that being kind of a difficult joke to do. Nosebleeds.
Yeah, it's a
You
bit
know,
of a
like,
tough gag.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
so.
not as easy to do as. Maybe just
Sure.
maybe leave it. I don't know.
Okay, well, this all makes more sense to me
It's
then.
just kind of a pain in the ass.
One more question that I am genuinely asking and would maybe have a character ask because I wonder it. You describe Ferris Bueller's ability to break the fourth wall, and that if we accept that Ferris Bueller is young Deadpool, Deadpool's ability to break the fourth wall as a mutant power, and I just think it's important to note that if the nature of the mutant power, if there weren't a meta universe around it,
Right.
if this makes sense, they would just be schizophrenic.
Right.
So the very fact that we grant that Deadpool is special because he can look into space and see a world outside this world and directly address it,
Right.
that supports the idea that everything's in the Matrix.
Right.
And it's
Like the very nature of his
right.
right.
Also, it means that Fight Club's in the Matrix.
That's true. We
Which
should
Fight
involve
Club
that.
being in the Matrix is
every-
the baddest ass thing in the world.
Well,
right?
that would also that opens up for a joke where you're
Yeah.
like, Fight Club is like a shitty 8chan board in the
Right.
Matrix where 14 guys hang out and post pictures of themselves. And
I mean-
dogs
Well, it
and shit.
explains why the guy can take such a beating.
Yeah.
That'd be fine. You know, because he's a mutant.
Alright, hold on. I guess.
But I think it's important to tie it all together to point out that the very nature of their mutation points to an outside reality existing.
Right.
All right, that's a lot to lay on you. So you tell us when you have the notes you want down.
So you're saying the fourth wall, just make it more clear that like that is more proof that there's an alternate reality in them.
Right, like whoever is continuously hammering the everything's the Matrix drum
Right.
should at that point go, right. And if you accept that Ferris Bueller's power is a power and not just crippling schizophrenia, then you grant that Ferris Bueller and Wade Wilson see that this is not the real world. They're admitting through their actions that the world we inhabit is not real. Then Morpheus explains that you're in the Matrix.
Right.
Abe says we should do this episode. He doesn't think it's weird. Abe's in the
He
chat.
didn't show up, so he doesn't get on the phone.
Also,
No.
hi Taylor
I asked
Carriage.
him to be
Hi
in the
Taylor Carriage from
chat.
Australia.
Hi, Taylor Carriage.
She was in the. She used to come to Alex and my football stream every week.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah. Welcome back.
What was the name of that football game show miniseries that you do?
Oh,
Greg and Cody? Fantasy football.
Yeah, the fantasy.
That was pretty good.
What's the time code on? It doesn't have time code on there yet.
I edited all.
I found it was really useful sometimes when I was starting to do notes is to just go into the stream
The chat.
and
yeah.
just find what was said.
Your notes are helpful. Thank you, people.
Oh yeah. Oh no. Just watching the video too. Just
Right.
Like okay, how did?
But also,
sometimes someone will word something in a way that's like okay, I want that exact wording.
especially for this show, I think the stream is helpful because the stream can straight up just, thanks, Michael, make fun of the sick man. Will do. The stream can just give examples. Like, I'm going to scroll through the stream for people to be like, here are more gritty reboots you didn't think of. Here are more rom-coms you didn't think of, whatever. Okay, so when you feel caught up, let me know.
Yeah, I think
Okay, because I have further questions. If this were going to be the second episode,
Yeah.
we'd have to polish it up to final state very soon. Do you
Sure.
have time this week to work with me on getting it
I gotta get something for Cody.
completed?
For
Or are
Friday.
you too busy? Yeah.
Dave
Dave and I also take side work from the Some More News team because
Yeah.
we're all
just
in a big pile. Yeah.
I'm overwhelmed until
We sleep in a big pile.
Mhm.
It's great.
I think next week it should be better. When do you need it?
Yeah, that'll
week
kind of be
would be
too
one.
late. So
Okay.
I will probably send out an email after this just with you and Tom. Because Tom has a script in the works.
Mhm. And his probably gonna come in more polished.
But at the same time, Tom might not have cast figured out, and he wasn't here tonight, so he doesn't know what
Right.
we. So no matter what happens, there's going to be tweaking to do, and it's going to be whoever can finish faster.
Yeah.
That's going to be.
There's a
episode
possibility. I specifically chose
two.
something.
Don't kill yourself, but you know.
Well, I specifically chose something from Cody that could pour out of me. Like it was one of
Your
those.
writing. not
Yeah,
editing.
the writing.
Okay.
Where it's just like it's something that I'm frustrated about already, and
So-
so every now and then, like you know how it is.
Rants
Like
are easy
I,
to write.
yeah, sometimes you'll write something and it's like, wow, that was only a few hours. That said, I have no fucking clue if that's actually going to be the case.
So I'll be in touch with
Um,
you and Tom robustly this week.
Yeah.
And please don't feel that that's normal, because later cycles
Yeah.
will be more relaxed. It's just this
Yeah.
way this time.
This is just I'm happy.
I'm gonna watch a bunch of crime movies this weekend.
Yeah.
Nice.
See if I can get
Okay.
our shit going on that.
Oh yeah. Other thing will be.
Do we want to cast?
I did say this in the emails.
Yeah,
That's
that
the
would
very
be
next thing. But I also
extremely
want to
helpful.
ask: is it okay if I do what I said in the emails and do a pass of my own?
Oh,
That's,
100%.
okay. All right.
This is
Don't want to
this is
intrude on
your,
people's
this is your
babies.
stuff.
But
I
I'm
mean,
also like, I'm considering myself the editor-in-chief of this
Right.
project or whatever.
If
Is
you
that
said
okay?
to me like, all right, I'll take it from here, like I'd be like, all right, fine. Like I'd love to do other passes on it too, because
Yeah,
again,
exactly.
this was a rough draft because I just didn't think it would need polishing right away.
Exactly, and I'm
Yeah.
saying if it turns out Tom can't do his and this needs to be the one and you don't have time to do it, maybe I'll do it.
Oh
We'll
yeah.
see how it
fucking-
goes. We'll just work it out.
Just go
All right. So the most pressing thing is yes, right?
Casting, I think.
Who's Walnuts and Gary Sinise and Scorpion.
Yeah.
Can you
So
run
that
over
when you
who-
take another
I will
pass,
say that.
you can shape them more to be like they should.
Yeah, I started with the rough, like okay, the 4 original After Hours people.
I don't think that Walnuts and Gary Sinise are distinct enough.
Uh huh.
That's what I'm saying. Is if we pick who they can be, then you can make them more
Exactly.
distinct.
Yes.
Yeah.
That I
Right
would-
now, they're just getting the information out when it needs to get out.
I'd make Walnuts Maggie. They need to be the same 4 as the first episode.
No.
right? Oh, they don't. Okay.
Not necessarily. So I'm going to tell you all about
I
our
like how
cast. Another thing we're doing that's different than the previous show is that we have a group of 8 theoretical friends, and they hang out in various combinations.
Who are the
So
other people?
that I'm scrolling to now,
Sorry,
we
I
have
apologize.
me. So yeah, the first episode had me, Katie Stoll, Maggie Fish,
Yep.
and DVG.
Yep.
But we also have available to us to use, should we want to, Cody Johnston, Greg Burke, Damian Washington, and Teresa Lee.
Oh.
Ooh.
And I think we should. I would like whenever possible for no 2 episodes in a row to have the exact same 4. I think it's nice to switch.
I
it.
think
I can
Walnuts
write-
should be Greg Burke.
What is Walnut's argument? I think it should fit their.
Walnuts is the John Wick one?
Walnuts is Carrie was an X-Man.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think that works for Greg. I think you're right.
He's also got lines that I feel like Greg would kill. You smell like a tire. Is like Greg would.
You
just
smell
murder
like a
that one.
tire. Yeah. So I would say, honestly, we had settled on, and I'm still fine with this. Greg and DVG, it's unlikely would be in the same episode
Yeah.
because
they're
they both
tied.
dance around the Soren
Sure.
persona.
Okay.
But I would say Greg is even more exactly basically like writing for Soren was.
Greg
you know
is.
what I mean?
Yeah. Greg
More
should
story.
be confident and
Oh, yeah.
sporty and
And the one who goes like, I actually don't know about that because I'm not a nerd.
because I don't
Yeah,
give a fuck
right.
about nerd things.
I only know top level pop culture shit.
Right. It's unusual that I'm here.
He's more philosophical,
Yeah.
less based on Maggie
Yeah.
Mae Fish's like evidence 1, evidence 2. Yeah.
Right.
I think that works for Walnuts if you're comfortable with that, Dave.
Yeah.
I'd love to get Cody in here.
I always
Yeah.
like writing for Cody.
I'd love to
It's
get Damien in.
easy.
We have Scorpion and who? Gary Sinise.
Gary Sinise.
Okay, so what's Gary Sinise's argument? Are they the one driving the...
Gary Sinise is John Wick, right? Yeah.
Okay, and then does that mean Scorpion ties it all into the Matrix?
Bueller.
Oh no, Michael ties it all into the Matrix.
Yeah, Scorpion's Ferris Bueller. There's 5 characters.
There's 5 arguments, that's right, because there's 2 Michaels. Okay, so...
All the more reason to...
You guys sort of share the argument at the end, but yeah.
Right.
The
So
film
no-
kind of falls apart.
No
Like,
one
around
person
there.
is tying it all into the Matrix relentlessly. They sort of build it together.
Like there should
Yeah.
be one.
I
think
was
it would be
thinking
the Michaels,
it might be
Yeah.
clearer
Yeah.
if Michael or other Michael, I forget which, is 80 to 90% of the time the one bringing it back to the Matrix.
Alright.
And everyone's like resisting that, but then by the end, like, he's right, everything's in the Matrix.
I feel like you can
That
have
would
that
work
one
because
line
you're-
and that's coming from the bathroom.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're also the alternate Michael's in the middle of Matrix Fever.
Right.
Like,
Right.
So, like, it would make sense that you're constantly. I could introduce the Matrix thing earlier,
Yep.
so that you're.
Yeah.
And I would, again, as I said, if at all possible, make Bathroom Michael be shouting single support lines or joke punch
Okay,
lines, and having other Michael. Right now, it seems like he doesn't have the information to be able to tie the argument together, but I don't think it has to be that way. He could still be in the midst of Matrix Fever, and that's why he's the perfect person to
Yes.
bring this argument together, because no one else is thinking about the Matrix, but he
Yes.
is, yeah.
I feel like Gary Sinise could be Cody'd up a little bit. I feel like you could Cody up Gary Sinise, and he would be a fine Cody character.
And had we settled, I actually don't remember, did we settle on Cody being like constantly just super frustrated and pissed off? Is that what we're going
I don't
for
find
him?
that fun.
Okay.
I don't think that's fun. I think it's
is in the After Hours
Yes.
offshoot, where he's just sort of a chill dude.
yeah,
Like
that's who he really is.
a
You
little
should,
bit.
should lean into that.
Yeah, because it's so different than what people
Okay.
get from him.
Well, I mean, I've always thought my favorite character he's ever played that wasn't a character is the guy from the Startup.
Oh, yeah,
That's
yeah,
my
yeah.
favorite of his people. I
Walter.
feel like we
no,
can-
I forget.
he was
doesn't
the
matter.
other. Yeah, he was the other one.
Chris.
Like the smart ass, but also very smart.
But grounded. Yeah.
That could happen here.
sure.
That would be a good. I don't want him to feel totally typed.
But I do like Cody's like chill bro character, whatever, dude.
That's what that guy is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
could be great.
Yeah.
But
But also he's poking holes in your shit.
oh, I just think
he's
that's
like-
stupid because of this. Yeah. Gary Sinise does which argument? The Ferris Bueller?
I think so.
No, he does John Wick.
Oh, okay.
So then I would argue that actually, if that's the way we're going with Cody, that Cody should be Scorpion. In other words, Cody make the Ferris Bueller argument.
Who's the one who has the buried alive? Who's buried alive? That's Walmart's, right?
No, Gary Sinise got buried alive.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Scorpion's trying harder than Gary Sinise is. It feels like.
Right, but that's just a matter of the tone of the dialogue, which could easily change in the rewrite. So I
But I'm
feel
okay.
like
You're based on the arguments.
it
I'm
should
fine
be
with that.
tied more to their argument.
Sure.
Sure.
And to me, like saying Ferris Bueller is actually a really powerful magician is a pretty chill argument.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you, of
Yeah,
course,
It's
you love
less like
Ferris Bueller.
it's not as John Wicky. Sure.
So then for
Scorpion is chill Cody.
So Teresa seems like the right person to introduce into that mix of people.
then
But I
she
don't-
would be making the John Wick argument by default. What does that
Otherwise, you're
mean?
gonna have all men.
True. Or Stoller Fish.
But you're
Like
trying
I
to
said,
get
I
as many
kinda
new
like
casts
it-
in as you can, right?
Yeah, but it also doesn't have to be diametrically this four and then the opposite
Okay.
four and then this.
Okay.
I want it to be mixed in some way. And also, we might have to do last minute line changes if someone can't make the shoot and we swap someone in.
Truth.
That's why we're going with 8 people because we're all busy. So
Uh,
this guarantees we can get a full cast on
Then
the
I'd
day.
put Fish in the John Wick zone.
Okay.
I feel like I feel like
Fish?
we could use
Does that
it.
sit
Fish is
right
Gary
with you?
Sinise?
Yeah.
And she's the DOB nerd type, but chipper
Yeah.
and cheerful. The
like,
difference
really
being
excited
that,
about it. Like, yeah.
but also people are constantly telling her she's shit and she takes it personally.
Yeah.
Like the DOB character. She's
Right.
the DOB character.
Yeah. She takes it personally. She's a people pleaser.
Lack of confidence, but lots of
Yeah.
nerd knowledge and cred.
Yeah.
And she's been buried alive.
And
Yeah.
do you think that would that work with to make her Gary Sinise for you?
For me?
Or did we say Gary
Yeah.
Sinise, right? Fish?
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
cool. Sweet. All right. Then let's do that cast for this episode, which will be episode 2 or 3, depending. So that will be part of the past. We'll be making them those characters. We should do tunes and clips, right?
You're gonna rewrite this really heavily.
Yeah.
This might be hard to do meaningful. Like, I'm thinking it might be more useful for us to do that by email. Not just because I think it's
Oh,
gonna be
you
such
mean
a
you
big
think it'll
rewrite.
actually change before? Okay.
Yes, I do. I do think
Yeah.
that.
Do you agree?
Yeah, probably. I mean,
Because if you change the tone of their dialogue, they might make a different joke that calls
They
out
will.
a cartoon
They will.
that wasn't
That's
there
true.
before.
This one's gonna be very different.
All right, then let's do tunes and clips another time. But I want to validate your round. I think all the arguments are very
Yeah.
strong.
I like the
They just
notes
need to
that
be
we've
clearer,
gotten,
and
Yeah.
I think those are good notes. That said, the pilot cannot drop without the art, and the art needs to get into motion immediately. So the last thing I think we need to decide is who's the best artist for episode 1. Because the other thing is, it's not going to be...
I would decide that off camera.
Okay.
I would. Well, I feel like Abe's gonna want to have a lot of input into that.
Abe, do you want to have an input on who's the artist
You
assigned
should
the first
have a lot of
episode?
input into that.
Well, I'll also just let people know that, let me go tab over. We have a lot of cool artists lined up who are all interested, and the way it's going to work is a combination of who's available, but whose style we think is the best fit for the thrust of that episode. But it's going to be one artist takes the whole episode.
You're not doing an artist a character?
No, because also
I like that a lot
one of the
better.
more frequent questions we got on After Hours is, what is with why are there different artists? And someone would always have to explain, or no, it would be, why is someone credited as Soren's brain? I don't understand. So like the fact that went over people's heads, it makes it harder to schedule. It's more expensive because we pay more artists.
Right.
We're just gonna do
Yeah.
like Star does the.
I think it's
episode
okay,
one. Okay.
because when we started After Hours, the art styles were a lot more distinct than they were when we finished.
This is
'Cause we
Right,
changed people.
and it tried to be towards like Katie was the dark
Yeah,
one, so
right.
we had that guy who did gory style art.
you could. I mean, this is just a suggestion, but you could base the artist still off of like who gets the main argument at the end,
Mm-hmm.
and
Oh, the winner should be.
yeah,
the
and
artist
like you
who
could
gets
do
it.
also they do the style of the title, so everybody sort of knows.
You
that
definitely
this
can,
is the artist that we're.
You
we're
definitely
doing
can get
the
the artist for the pilot going.
We need to,
Yeah.
and we'll decide that off mic because it's more polite. But I did want people to know, because if they're watching the stream, they're excited for this, who we have as potential artists who are interested and attached to this project. Anthony Clark, also known as Nedroid, who is one of the original After Hours artists. Starlene Hodge, who does Ruby Whipple and a bunch of great comic work for both of for Gamefully Unemployed
yeah.
and for Small Beans. And, if you know Star, you love her, and you know that she has done illustration work for After Hours.
She's also the waitress.
She came in the middle, and she played the waitress. But as far as illustration, she wasn't there from the very beginning, but about halfway through, she started contributing. Michael Vincent Bramley, who is like a Small Beans find. We work with him constantly. He did
Cool.
a lot of our podcast tiles that you see, and he's like my new favorite person, basically. We're working on a graphic novel with him as well. But like he did all the Coen Brothers graphics. He did some of the best shirts in our store, and he designed the Off Hours logo. If you haven't seen the logo yet, it's bomb, and it's posted on our Patreon page, patreon.com/smallbeans, if you want to check out the logo, which is by Michael Vincent Bramley. And then Ben Shannon, a.k.a. Shoontz, who we've also used a lot on Small Beans. He did the Rough Stuff logo. He did our After Hours shirt, which is a beautiful piece of work in the store. And so Michael Vincent Bramley and Ben Shannon did not work on After Hours, but they're great artists, and they're working on this. Nedroid and Star did, and so there's some continuity for you. Is there anything you guys want to tell the stream? Or are we done? I think we're done.
I think they're pretty cool.
All right.
They're great people.
Yeah,
We
well,
love.
just to wrap up, thank you so much. If you have any feedback, put it in the thread, but especially examples of movies and clips from things we should use where you're like, during this joke, you got to cut to this movie of this guy saying this. That's very helpful. Otherwise, we just hope this confirms for you that the content you paid for is indeed in process, and that this itself is fun content in the interim.
Yes, I think that's true. I also think that reality says this might drop at the latest in mid-June. and the earliest at the end of May. I think you should think about that.
I'm really pushing for May 31st.
It's not my project. I'm just
And-
telling you. I'm like looking at it. I'm like, okay, this is.
I have a habit of biting off more than I can chew, so yeah, but that's what is in my head. It'll depend, but you'll know every step of the way. I really think that's it.
Yeah.
If you don't know what the fuck this is, we're doing a show called Off Hours.
Why would they not know?
Check
Who are
it
those
out.
People?
There's some people who see that Small Beans went live and they click just to
okay.
see, oh, what the fuck is this?
That's fair. That's fair.
So yeah, find out more information on our Patreon page about Off Hours, our impending web series. Next time we do this, there will probably be more people here or a different combination of people. But again, these are the writers and producers, not the cast.
Oh. We got a producer on this?
You got your EP. You
Holy
didn't know your EP?
fuck.
Yeah, you have to pay for
I
it.
haven't been EP since I've been on Starship Icarus, bro.
Yeah, so the cast is myself, Cody Johnston, Katie Stoll, Maggie Mayfield.
What's up,
They
EP?
heard. A lot of cool
EP
people.
Bell?
I'm EP too.
Yeah, you're EP.
Yeah.
How do I
Decibel.
get EP?
I just want them to
I'm
know
gonna put that on my.
it will be
IMDb page.
funnier when the real actors read the thing. I don't want them
Yeah,
to think this
I would
is
say in
a
the
rehearsal.
yeah.
It's a writer's
Oh,
meeting,
I
not
felt like
a
I
rehearsal.
gave it a lot. I feel like I gave a lot to the reading here.
I should never be reading. Okay.
But you should be writing, and that's why you're here. Thanks,
Aw.
guys.
Bye, everybody.
So long.
I'm gonna still wait until